All right, guys. So yeah, I got an invite from Samiksha S1 at outlook.com. So I'm just accepting her invite, as well as I also have invite from Shanmugapan. She has also added me. Let me just finish this, and then I wish to set the context for today, as well as let's keep it little more informative and interactive going forward. So that way, yeah, okay, I can see this is her Samiksha's resource group. Yeah, Win 2021. Did you create this, Samiksha?
Yes, I
Okay, you
created
created it.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I created another one also, Lean 2021.
Then I don't see it. It just says Win 2021.
I don't know why
Maybe
it's
you
not
deleted it, or
accepting.
can you see it?
Yeah, 1 minute. So, resource groups.
I think you gave me access only for this resource group, not for the entire subscription.
Oh, that's why I
Yeah,
felt it different. I thought
correct.
so.
See,
I
so what you did is I asked you to give me the access, a
this
contributor access to the subscription. So what you did
not
is you created Win 2021 and Linux resource groups,
Acha.
and you
That's what
went to the resource group here and gave me the access. So what you
yes,
do is do one thing, just revoke my access here, and then give me access to the entire subscription. Can you?
and you will do that by creating a VM group, right?
No, no, nothing. Just share your screen. Let's all see, or I'll just help you how to do it. Just I'm stopping, or just I'll pause the screen share. You share the screen. I'll walk you through.
Yes, yes. So
And in
shall
the
I share?
meantime, I will also accept the Sanmugapon Mani's invitation that she has sent me for. I think that's for the entire subscription. அக்கா நீங்கள் எனக்கு ரிசோர்ஸ் குரூப்புக்கு மட்டும் ஆக்சஸ் கொடுத்தீங்களா இல்லை மொத்த சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷனுக்கும் கொடுத்தீங்களா? Can you hear me?
Full subscription.
Okay, okay. And I think Ritika has also managed to create a subscription, and now I'm accepting her invite as well. So, oh, it says, you,
Can you see my screen?
1 second. Yeah, I can see your screen. Can you,
Why it is looking like that?
maybe I'll stop the screen share, and now you do it. Like, click on share and then share the entire screen.
Okay. I'm sharing it now,
Is it?
right?
What about others? Can you guys see it?
No, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, I have just shared it actually.
Okay.
Can you see now?
Hmm. No, still no.
Still no?
Still no.
1 minute.
Share and then entire screen window. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can see it now. Go to the resource group or go to the portal.
Go to the portal.
Yeah, go to the Azure portal. Perfect. So these are the three, right? You have SAM group, Win
Yes,
2021, and Linux. So what you
yes,
did is you created the three, okay, in East
yes,
US, West US 2, and everything.
yes.
And I asked you to give me the access to the subscription for the
Correct,
Samiksha's Azure subscription.
correct,
So what you did is you gave me access at the resource group, which is Win 2021.
correct.
Now go to that resource group and revoke my access first.
Okay. Go to the resource
Yeah,
group.
go to the resource group. Like I'm just giving you the clue also, and or I'm just walking you through. Go to the resource group first
Yes, so this is a resource group
and
which I
open
have
the
done.
resource group which you
When
gave me the access for.
when 2021.
Yes,
Hmm.
open that. No, don't select it.
Hmm.
Open it.
Acha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is opening actually.
Okay. Now go to the access control, which is
One.
where you granted me the access,
Yes,
and just
access
undo it.
control. Hmm. Hmm. And then
I think there's a small latency, so it's still kind of loading.
Oh, yeah, there is actually network issue actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can see your name now, contributor
Okay,
as
now just select my name and remove.
well.
I'm not seeing your screen, but I'm just telling you what you're supposed to do. Okay.
Yes. So I saw your name as a contributor. I'm removing it now. There is
Correct.
one tab on the right hand side. Remove.
So click on my name. On the top, there is a revoke or remove. Yeah, just remove that.
Yeah. Removing role. Removing Gokul as a
Yeah,
contributor for Win 2021.
that's
Correct.
it.
Okay. So I can close this, right? Because it is
Yeah,
still
once you
happening.
remove it, close and then go to the, yeah, you've revoked my access, right? Now go
Yes.
home and now give me the access at the subscription level. Do the exact same thing, same screen, same options and everything. Just remove me from the resource group and go one level above at the subscription.
So these are the subscriptions. Like, so I'm
You
going
just have only one subscription,
here.
right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, select the subscription. Do one thing, instead of contributor, make me the reader.
Make you the
Reader.
reader.
Reader. So I will only have read access, which means I can only see what you have, what you're going to do, and what you are doing, but nothing else.
One
So
minute.
where are you? Why are you in virtual machines?
No, by mistake I did
Okay,
that.
okay,
You have
because
asked to create that.
correct. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So I was.
Understood. Okay. Take your time. We have all the time today. And I think I'm seeing the virtual machine because there is a latency. Yeah, now I can see the subscription for the first time.
Yes. Now here I can click on add, right?
Add role assignments.
Check your offer. Do check it. So once
Yes.
there are experiencing authentication issues.
Where? Okay, portal is okay. So this is not your problem. It's there is some issues in the portal itself. So just refresh the page once. So it can happen like something is running in the back end at the Microsoft level, not your machine or not your network problem. Just close and then go back again. Go home and then come back if possible.
Yeah. Can I refresh it?
Please do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
What is happening?
actually, the internet is slow. Actually.
What is it?
Oh, error while
Uh,
checking eligibility. Please try again later.
oh, so are you using a desktop computer now or laptop?
I'm using a laptop
But
actually.
how is it plugged in? Do you have a cable plugged in?
Yes, I have
Okay,
cable plugged in.
because I can see the Ethernet icon, so that's why I asked: is it a laptop or a desktop?
Yeah, yeah, it's a laptop, but
Uh-huh.
just that.
Okay, see, you understood what was the issue and what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you can stop the screen share because that will speed up a little bit. Just give me the access to the entire subscription, but instead of contributor, make me the reader.
Fair enough. Reader, right?
Reader access. So I
Yes.
have reader access to that at the subscription level. So everything underneath that subscription, I can see it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, sure. And just go through it. Like I might have created a group or something, but
Yes, I see 3 resource groups you have created. So
yes.
that's fine. So I think I got whoever is supposed to be I should be having access to. So let me share my screen back again. Okay, you can stop the screen share.
Sure.
So do one thing, but make sure that you what are you doing? You're adding a subscription or what?
1 minute. Sorry, I by mistake. 1 minute. Oh, here, right? I have to click add
So
subscription.
what you need no, not add subscription. You're presenting the screen again. Okay, no, you're not supposed to add a subscription. You're supposed to add a role in this free trial subscription. Open the free trial. Yeah, so you're not giving me you're not creating a new subscription. Instead you're giving adding me into your existing subscription, or you're adding a role. So open the subscription first and then
Okay. Yeah.
so you've opened it
Yes, it
and
is
then
opening actually.
okay,
I clicked on it.
fine. So once you open it, there is an option called access control or IAM.
Yes, access
கான்பூரில்
control.
பூனே
பூனே
நாளைக்கு நைட்டு
அப்படியா
ஆ
போயிட்டு எத்தனை நாள் இருக்கு
அடுத்த சனிக்கிழமை நாங்கள் ஹோட்டல்லே தான் ஐடி பார்க்லேயே தான் ஹோட்டலும் ஹாயத்
Create a
ஹோட்டலில்
custom
போட்டிருக்காங்க
role,
room.
right?
இதில்
ஹாயத்
ஆஹித்
sorry.
There is a role assignments that I have to click.
Yes,
on,
role
right?
assignments.
Yes. Reader,
Okay,
right?
that's correct. So role assignments, add. No, you clicked on roles tab, right? Or role assignments, where are you?
Here, role assignments. Then I
Yeah,
went.
first you click on role assignments and then add. There is an add button now on the top next to the download role assignments on the top.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Add role
basically
assignment.
just see where you are. Okay, you opened the you went to the subscription pane. In that you
Yes.
opened the free trial subscription,
Then
and inside the free trial account you're in access control and you're adding a role to me. Add, and then in the new pane give my name and select the role. Which screen are you in now?
I am adding you as a member.
Member or reader?
Reader.
Reader, please do.
Review and assign. So user type. Role will be reader. I'm just assigning. I'm reviewing and assigning it.
Yeah, so
Yes.
let me also open my Azure portal to see.
Yes. Send it to you.
Okay, you added me.
Yes, I have added it.
Okay, now in the role assignments pane you should see my name as reader. Do you see it?
Yes.
You do,
You have
right?
accepted.
So let me just switch to your subscription and see it.
So shall I stop the screen so
Yes,
that
please
you
do.
can see? I'm
Please.
stopping it,
Yep.
okay? Yeah.
Okay, now just to see if I've got the access or not, let me share my screen and then you can actually see what actually happened. So when I logged into your account, I was able to see only that one resource group, right, which is Windows.
Yes.
Now I go to my directories, click on this, and then you can see this is mine, the default one, and then we have Shanmugapunmani, Samiksha, Pritika, Vikram, and Gauss. So I have these people who had granted me the access. So I'm just going to Samiksha's resource, the subscription. I'm switching to it, and when I go to the resource groups, see, I can see everything because you gave me the access at this level,
Correct.
not at the Win
Yep.
2021 level. Okay,
Correct.
so I see East US, you have a resource group, you have SAM group also in East US, and then you have one in West US too, but it's empty. And in SAM group, which is also empty, Win 2021 is also empty. So you did not create the virtual machines, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no worries. Now I see Ritika has created some resources in her subscription. Let's switch to her account and see what is there. So there is one resource group called Ritika that is in East US. I open that, maximize it, and then I can see there is one disk one, there's a disk virtual, so there is a virtual machine called Ubuntu, and then there's also a machine called Web Server 2016. So she has created two machines. And I see where is the virtual network. Okay, there is only one virtual network within which she has created both the machines. Okay, good. So now we had some questions in the group, right? I think it was Vikram who had asked on what is the, like, we'll just look into the questions. I sent you the invite. So Samiksha sent a message saying that she has added me as a contributor. Okay, that is done, taken care. And you also created two resource groups. Well, that is good. But Vikram said both the tasks completed, but I didn't understand when to resize the machine to B1. And before I answer this question, we are gonna, okay, let's go to Vikram's directory itself. Vikram has given me the access. Let me switch to Vikram's subscription. Okay, I go to the resource groups. See, he has created Linux RG and WinRG. Let me open one by one. The Linux RG is blank. WinRG, there is WinRG VM and there's Ubuntu 1 VM. So he has created two machines in the same RG, and now that it's too many information here I don't want to open one by one. So what I do is I go to home, I click on virtual machines so that I can see only the virtual machines, two VMs, which are, oh, see, I think he forgot to shut down the servers. They're running. We're not supposed to be keeping it running. So what we need to do is just select all and stop the VM so that he'll save some cost. And I can also see that he has added two disks as well onto the Ubuntu machine, which is good. Now let's wait for this VM to be stopped. In the notification pane, you can see all the activities that he still has 15,000 credits, and then the machine one is stopped, the second one is happening, executing commands on two items. Okay, both the machines are stopped now. If I just refresh, there we go, it's stopping now. He said I asked you guys to create a machine with B2S in East US, or I said, what is B2S? B2S, if I open a VM, size of the machine, B2S. B2S is 2 core and 4 GB machine. I asked you to resize it. How many of you resized it successfully? Except Rohina's. Because she does this.
I have done it, sir.
Prasancha, you have done it. You've also done it? Gauss, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, see, the Ubuntu VM, which we created as 2 core and 4 GB, we realized that 2 core 4 GB is going to be costing us little more, and then we don't need 4 GB of RAM and 2 processor. Okay, so we want something smaller so that it is even more cost effective. I don't want to pay for a cloud server that is this big, because my application is very small. This is a test, right? Like, we are just learning how to use cloud, so we don't need a big machine. We are good with just a small server. So how do I scale it down or bring it small, make it a small machine from B to S? I want to change it to a smaller size, 1 core and 1 GB RAM, or 1 core and 2 GB RAM. So if you scale it down, you'll pay less. If you scale it up, you will pay more. So I don't want you guys to pay more while you're learning how to use cloud computing. So I say Ubuntu One machine is here. There's an option called size. Just click on the size. Here you can see 2 core 4 GB RAM, and it can support up to 4 data disks. But there is a machine which is called B1S. Instead of B2S, there is a machine called B1S, which is 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM. So it is half of this, like it's like in terms of pricing as well as the sizing. So I select the B1S machine and then hit resize. So what it is doing is, from the B2S size, it is moving to a different server which is having only 1 core and 1 GB RAM in terms of compute capacity or the processing power. Okay, the machine is successfully resized. Now I go to overview again. If I just refresh, now do you see the size? It is B1S, but it still shows 2 core 4 GB. Let me just refresh it once again. Standard B1S. Then open it. It is 1 core and 1 GB. So what is going to happen now is, if I start this VM, I will be paying very less amount because the size of the machine is smaller. So hence the bill is also going to be smaller. Are you guys getting what is this or what is happening? Like, why are we doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so one more thing, which we need to two things. Okay, actually, so I've sent you a quick feedback form. So try your best to finish it off today, so that we can, in case if something needs to be changed in the way that we train, we can all do that, because it's what we have almost 11 to 12 people, and everybody are in a mixed bag. Somebody is already a technical person, somebody is from sales, and someone is technical but not on cloud. They're a cloud novice, and someone is also working on cloud SaaS products like O365 and other things, Microsoft 365. So it would be better if I keep every 3 or 4 batches, I take a quick feedback to understand the pace, and do I need to rephrase the technical terms that I'm using, and so on, so everybody are on the same page. Now, number 2, from starting today, what we're going to do is, anything and everything that we learn, we need to know a why. Why are we doing it? Why is this step needed? And why is this step not being performed earlier or later? Okay, so there has to be a why for everything. And once you know the why, we can actually learn how to do it. So just a quick recap, it is 4:30. We'll take 15 minutes just to have a very high level overview on the topics that we have covered, because I think we are done with the 4 classes, right? Quick recap. So our session started with what is cloud. You know what is cloud. How many of you still have some questions or doubts on what is cloud and what is not cloud?
No, I understood about it.
You understood
What
the
is
cloud part, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
then you also know what is NIST. NIST is nothing but the National Institute of Standards
National.
and Technology. They had
Yes.
laid down the list of
Certain grade.
frameworks and that
Correct.
you need to have this, like broad network access, multiple like elasticity, rapid elasticity, self-service, so on and so forth. And once that was covered, we covered this types of cloud. What are the types of cloud that is available in the market today, Prasansha?
Public, private, and hybrid, sir.
Give me an example of, um, give me three examples of public cloud, Samiksha.
Public cloud is GCP, that is Google,
Hmm.
AWS,
Hmm.
and Azure.
Okay, perfect. Now, so you understood the difference between what is a public cloud, what is a private cloud, also, right? And what is a
Yes,
hybrid
yes,
cloud.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Then
yes.
we from there we went to cloud deployment models. What are the cloud deployment models, Samiksha?
Those are like on-premises deployment modes will be hybrid.
No, no,
So,
no. That is the types of cloud: hybrid cloud and private cloud and public cloud. We covered something as this one.
SaaS, PaaS, and
Yeah,
correct. Infrastructure as a
correct.
service, platform as a service,
Mm-hmm.
and software as a service.
Correct. And what is an infrastructure as a service?
Infrastructure service where like companies only using their infrastructure
Correct.
like servers and racks.
Yeah, storage, racks,
So
yeah,
storage
server,
racks.
storage, network, all these things.
Yes.
What is a platform as a service?
Platform as a service where this is the next stage of
Mm.
yeah, yeah, infrastructure as a service
Mm-hmm.
where more than infrastructure a
Mm.
company is opting for.
Mm.
So they're like they're going for
Platform.
platforms. Yeah.
Okay. So, what is the advantage of using a platform as a service?
Platform as a service, like company will have lesser control over that.
Okay.
So,
What is
for
the
example,
advantage?
what is the advantage is that they will
They don't have to manage the infra.
they don't want to manage the infra. Correct.
Correct. So, if I give you, if I go for infrastructure as a service,
Yes.
example, VM is an infrastructure as a service, right? So, when I
Yes.
create a VM, I have to create a VNet, I have to create the disk, I have to manage the IP, I have to start, stop, resize, do all of it. I'm This is like way too much for me to manage all of it when I have hundreds of machines. So if I go for platform as a service, most of these infrastructure are taken care by Microsoft itself, and they just give us a platform to host your application. And what is SaaS?
SaaS is like a software as a service where like everything is on the platform only. So not a single thing will company will have to manage
Yes, give me an
from there.
example.
SaaS example will be like servers, applications,
No, so give me a few examples of SaaS that you are using daily.
Google Photos,
Yeah,
Google Drive,
yes. And give
uh,
me some, like, these
like
are personal applications, right? Your Google Photos, Google Drive, you use it. Give me
yes,
some two or three SaaS applications that you use it in the office.
Salesforce,
Okay.
then
O365.
O365, correct.
And then
Then
Google Workspace.
yeah, Google Workspace.
In your office in Tata Communications, what do you guys use? Do you use Google Workspace or O365?
O365 we use.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Salesforce actually for
Okay.
us.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also have Google Meet,
Okay, perfect. These are all SaaS applications,
Microsoft Teams.
and
Yes,
they're all cloud-based SaaS
Mhm.
applications. Okay, you
Correct.
you are not hosting these applications in your Bombay office. It
Correct.
is all hosted in Google Data Center and Microsoft Data Center and Salesforce Data Center.
Correct.
So you just pay for each user license, and then you use it, and then you pay every month for the usage consumption. Okay, so this is where we are strong. Okay, we know for sure what is what and what is not. And okay, Then we actually started our journey slowly on access control, which is nothing but RBAC. Ritika, what does RBAC stands for?
Role-based access control.
Role-based access control. And why do we need this? Or I said, right, we need to know why are we doing anything, right? So we know what is this and when to use. Why are we using this? What is role-based access control? When should I use this? Or what is this used for?
So when you're working on a project,
Hmm.
and say if maybe a collaboration or someone needs to overview what is
Okay.
done, you can give access on various levels.
Okay, so
is
RBAC is used to grant or revoke permissions to my subscription and the resources or the resource groups.
Correct.
Right? I have an Azure subscription. This is Vikram. So I'm the team manager or something. So I see Vikram has a machine that he is running with 2004 Ubuntu Linux OS. Size is this. So I'm telling Samiksha, can you please resize the Vikram's Ubuntu machine? How will Samiksha do it? She doesn't even know how to access this because she doesn't have access to his subscription at all. So there is no way Samiksha can log into this subscription to go ahead and resize this machine. Right? When we logged in, we saw two machines were running. Vikram forgot to shut down the computer. I think, okay, so I started it. So now I'm going to tell Samiksha, can you please log into Vikram's subscription and shut down the server because it's running for quite some time and he has only 14,000 rupees of credit. So we need to stop this. But how will Samiksha know where is the machine, how to log into Vikram's subscription? Because she has her own subscription, Vikram has his own subscription. Obviously, they don't know the passwords of each, and obviously there is no way that Samiksha can log into this subscription to stop this VM. So I need to do what? I need to grant access to Samiksha into his subscription. Why? Only then she can see this machine that can be started or stopped. So now Samiksha, you need to help me in just guide me on how should I give you access to this Vikram's subscription. I want you to have access to only this Ubuntu server which is running. I want you to stop this VM. How will you grant access to yourself? Guide me.
So first of all, you will go and visit Vikram's
Okay, I am in Vikram's subscription.
Can you please open that?
Okay.
So you want to?
I want you to have access only to this Ubuntu 1 VM.
Ubuntu only. So
Yeah.
you can go to Ubuntu 1.
Okay.
Then once you open it, then there will be option called access control
Correct.
management, and then you will see role assignments.
Role
Add.
assignments.
Then you can add me as a contributor or a role
Oops,
assignment.
it says role assignment is disabled. What happened? Why?
Role assignment because he might not want anybody should get into his machine or a project.
Yes, you can see if I when I'm in the role assignments tab, Gokul is here, Gokul 0106, but Gokul's role is a
Contributor.
So what does a contributor mean?
Yes, so he can only see whatever he can only see the Ubuntu part.
Okay.
But he cannot edit or he cannot pass this or transfer his
Yes.
subscription to anyone.
Correct. So a contributor means I can see, I can create, I can even delete this VM. Okay. But I cannot give access to somebody else. Okay. So we saw three roles: owner, contributor, and reader. These are the three commonly used roles, but you can actually see there are plenty of roles for each resource. If I go to the role assignment and let me just go to my subscription. Okay. Now if I want to give access to somebody, it is not just a reader or contributor or owner. I just add a role assignment and look at these roles: owner, contributor, reader, aware contributor, aware operator, DevOps, lab tester, log analytic contributor. These are all the name of the services. Monitoring contributor. So which means if I give Samiksha the access to this role, she can read all the monitoring data and update the monitoring settings only. She cannot do anything else. So there are lot of roles like this. Depending on your whatever the use case scenario is, you can decide what to. You can see there is a virtual machine contributor. So what I want Samiksha to do is I want her to be a virtual machine contributor. That means she can manage only the virtual machines, but not anything else. No network, no storage, nothing. Samiksha will be my VM administrator. So she can start, she can resize, she can do whatever she wants to do with it, but she just cannot give access to anybody else or do anything else. So Samiksha, may I have your email address? SAMEEKSHA S1, right? Hello?
S1 at the rate gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Sorry, outlook.com.
Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm making you the VM administrator or VM contributor, virtual machine contributor.
So I'll receive a notification, right?
Yes, you will. Okay. Now once I review and assign, if I want I can put some message. Hi Samiksha, I am making you my VM contributor. Please action the pending items.
Is what?
Whatever like message that I want to put, I just review and then I'm inviting this user to my account as a VM contributor. Now check if you have received an email to your Outlook email address.
Yes, I'm checking.
Please accept my invite, and you can share my screen as well. You can share your screen as well.
So we have to open the Outlook and then only we can accept it, right?
Yes, it's an email. You would have received an email.
Yes.
So log into Outlook from your email from your laptop itself, and can you share your screen?
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. 1 minute. Can you see my screen?
No, I think you just shared it. Let's just okay. Yeah, it's loading. Now go to the email, accept my invite, and sign in. What is this? Skip it. Skip now for 6 days or something. It's just that MFA, multi-factor authentication, just to keep an alternate address. So in case if you lose a password or something, you can resume it. So yeah. Skip it again. No thanks. But do this in the next 1 week or something, so that it is just to secure your account, but for now we don't need it.
Sure. Sure. Here from Azure, you cannot directly accept this, right?
No. First, if you accept it, from then once the accepting is completed, then you will be able to see it in the portal itself. But first, you need to make sure that the invite is accepted. That's an email, right? That's how you receive the email. It's not a portal. Okay, yeah, see, MCT Club has invited you. Click on it, and what does the message say? I would have said something like, "Hi Samiksha, please do the needful," or something.
Yes.
Accept the invite.
If you put that 83 World Cup on, I'll still be able to watch it. And finals, I can watch it again and again and again. It was just incredible. Nobody gave us a chance. I think when we left, we probably didn't think that we would do it. I think we started to believe when we played our first match. The first match itself, we beat the West Indies, the defending champions, in the first league match in Manchester. That gave us a belief. Hang on a minute, we've just beaten them once.
Great.
In West Indies. Now
That's it, right? So it will.
English conditions.
So first you accept it, and then log into your Azure portal, and then check if you are able to see your account and my account.
I think we can do it. And Kapil was just that kind of a captain. He had that positiveness about him, which was just incredible. There was nothing that was impossible. Gee, man, that innings of 175. What a pity it's not being recorded. And it was batting of the highest class. It's the best one-day 100 that I've seen, and I've seen a few. And I know it's taken mythical proportions, but it deserves to, because it was really a sort of game transforming moment for Indian cricket.
So you're not saying match transforming. Let's make it clear. You're saying game transforming.
So I should go to all resources, right?
No, I can still see the previous screen only. So you are inside the portal now.
Yeah, I'm inside the
Okay,
portal.
yeah, I can see the all resources. So you are in which directory are you in? Can you tell me which directory are you in by looking at the portal itself?
Resources. I'm in your directory, I guess.
How do you know?
It's showing here.
Where? What does it say?
MCT Club.
Correct. That's the one. And also look at the top right.
Top right.
Just below your email address.
Yes.
Okay, so now you are not in Samiksha's default directory.
Yes.
You are in Gokul's MCT Club. Now go to all resources and you only see a VM, because I gave you access only as a VM contributor, virtual machine contributor. So virtual machine contributor will have access only to the virtual machines in the subscription.
Okay.
That's why you see only this VM. Now can you please try to switch to your directory from the screen? Go back to Samiksha's account. How do you do that?
I'll have to go to subscriptions, right?
Correct. Subscription, or where? From the screen only, like I showed you another way to switch the directory.
I can. It's here.
Where?
Subscriptions. Yeah. So I can click on switch.
Correct. So click on that, and then you see two directories. One is MCT Club that you're currently in, and the default directory is samiksha.s1.onmicrosoft.com. So now you should see your subscription and the resources in it. You can close the Outlook for now because we don't need it. So now because you're navigate and see again you're back to default directory. Look at the top
Yes.
right.
Yes. I
So
can
from
see my
MCT
group.
club you came back
Yes.
to default directory. Now go to virtual machine and then resize the virtual machine to the higher size. What is do you have a VM created in your account now?
No, actually, I was
Okay,
trying to do
do
that
one
only.
thing. Go to MCT club directory and there is one VM called VM1. Just resize that machine.
So I have to go here. I have to switch MCT club.
Yeah, is it switching?
Yeah, it is switching
Okay.
actually.
Go to the VM that is there in my account.
So every time we have to create a VM and then only we can do everything, right? Like subscription and resource groups.
No, you don't need anything, right? With resource group, I told you is nothing but a logical container, right? It's just a dabba. So inside that box, you're gonna place the VM, VNet, and everything. So even if you see your subscription does not have a VM, but you are still able to do everything that I asked you to do so far, right?
Yes.
Like switching the account, giving me the access to the resource group subscription, so on and so forth. So virtual machine is just one service. So what is the VM size on this VM1? How many GB RAM do you have here?
It's 8 GB RAM.
2 core 8
8 GB.
GB. Now can you
Yes.
please reduce this because this is a big machine, very big. So I don't want to pay so much. Even though it is switched off, when I'm starting it, it's going to cost me a lot. So please bring it down to a smaller size. Just look around. There must be a way.
So what does this B, D, and E stands for? Like
Okay.
they're alphabetically.
Okay, I'll explain you that. But for now, just look for a smaller machine than what you have selected. We selected B2MS. On the right side, you can see it is 2 core 8 GB. So go down to a smaller size than 2 core 8 GB. So go to 1 core 1 GB.
This 1 core 1 GB, right?
Yeah,
This
one
is
B1M B1S is there. Yeah.
B1.
Just,
B1 is in
yes.
there. That is the smallest.
That's the. I think there is one more smaller than this, but it's not listed here. But from what you see, that is the smallest. Yes.
Yes.
Just select 1 core 1 GB, which is the smallest, and which actually means it is also the cheapest.
Okay. So I can click on this and then
Yeah,
it
that's
can
it. Just
yeah.
resize and wait for 30 seconds. So now you are actually controlling my server in my subscription because I gave you the access to this MCT club directory. Likewise, whoever gives you the access, you will be able to view or perform whatever the task you're asked to do depending on the permission levels that you have. Permission is nothing but the roles: contributor, reader, owner, so on and so forth.
So now I can go back and check.
Go back to the overview and check it. And just refresh it once. In the top, just next to the delete button, there is a refresh button. Click on it.
Yes, I can standard B1S.
It is B1S, right? And you can also see the size of it.
Yes. But
Okay, now so now if you start the VM, it will be running with only 1 core and 1 GB RAM, and it is going to be very, very cost effective. Okay.
yes.
Right, so now you just gave me access using rollback access control, and you also did a resize of the machine.
Yes.
Why did you resize the machine?
Because I realized that was costing me a lot.
Mhm.
So that is the reason I thought like if I reduce the
Size?
size and it can reduce my cost.
Because in
It will be
cloud
cost.
you only pay for what you use, right? So now I have a
Yes.
B1S machine, which is the cheapest and smallest, so I only pay for this machine's cost.
Correct.
Understood?
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
now that's how you actually learn, because see, none of these options you have done before, right? So it will be new.
Yes.
It would be
Yes.
right, you wouldn't know which screen are you in, because you just clicked on home and then you're in all resources and then you're in VM1. So whatever the options you see on the left pane, networking, connect, Windows Admin Center, disk size, security, these things, it will, like, they're like in a, like a booklet, like a page, so they'll come with practice, but just understand the concept. Now at least you know how to give me access and revoke me access. You know how to
Yes.
start a VM, stop a VM. You know how to
Yes.
resize a machine, and you
Yes.
also know how to go from one directory to another directory. So you know
Correct.
how to create a resource groups. That way you know how to order your resources as well. So now you can stop the screen share. I'll share my screen back.
Sure.
Okay, so guys, the reason why I wanted to take a little longer in a recap is because, like, we all have a full-time job. I don't think we can actually sit for hours and then keep practicing or learning or watching some other YouTube videos. So that's why I always just refresh the memory once, twice, and then we can go back. So now we also know what is RBAC, why is it used, how is it used, and then we also did a VM creation and resize. Now, so today's session starts. What happens is, the recap is done. Now, we have so many services, right? Like in Azure, I did tell you in AWS there are 400 services. In Azure Marketplace, you can see these are all the offerings. You can just create these services: the Cosmos database, SQL database, HVR for Azure, Azure Cache, Flash Grid. Nobody even knows what they are. There are plenty of them. Automation, Nerdio, very channel. So they have to be classified into some category, right? So you can actually see on the left pane itself. For databases, if you select databases offering in Azure, you can see managed instance, SQL data, Cosmos data, Postgres, MySQL, SQL Server, Cache, Redis. Like, many services are there in databases. If you go to compute, is a type of service. Under compute, you can create virtual machine for your computation, virtual machine scale sets, Kubernetes, function app, and then other operating systems listed here. If you go to networking, you can see all the networking offerings from Azure and other providers. Storage, see, these are the storage offerings. So what we are going to see is, in order for us to learn it in a structured manner, we will just break it down into the cloud deployment models itself. First we will learn about IaaS. Under IaaS, there are some services which are virtual machines, virtual machine scale sets, app services, and what else did I mention in the plan, and overview on Azure Batch. That's it. So these things we'll just see are not covered, right? That's it. Azure Batch is also not covered. Only these three. Uh, Before even we get here, so we said we'll first learn about infrastructure as a service. In infrastructure as a service, we can further break it down into compute, network, storage, backup, and disaster recovery. So these are the types of services that comes under infrastructure as a service. So you know what is, oops, So today we're going to see only this. So we know what is infrastructure as a service, right? Infrastructure as a service is nothing but a type of deployment in cloud in which we manage everything. So under infrastructure as a service, we have these many categories: compute, network, storage, backup, and DR. So each are like a pillar within which you will have multiple other services. So for example, under compute, we're going to see these three services in Azure category, compute category. Like what is a category? Like it's basically grouping of your services, right? Like for storage, I'll give you an example. For storage, what are the types of services that we have? We have something called as Azure storage account, in which we can store our data, and then we'll have disks in which you can store your data, and then we have something called as data boxes in which you can store your data. So likewise in network, the services are Azure virtual network, and then load balancer, and then firewall, and then NIC card or IP address. So is it making sense, or is it way too much to process? Basically, types of cloud deployment models, and under cloud deployment models we have infrastructure as a service. Within infrastructure service, we can break it down into 5 categories: compute, network, storage, backup, and DR. So if you know these 5 categories, or if you know the services under these 5 categories, you can easily get any cloud job, and it is extremely easy. Azure backup service, and then we have something called as Azure site recovery. So these are the name of the services, guys. So in Azure there is something called as Azure site recovery, or there is something called as Azure backup. So each category has some service within that. Is it making sense, or do you guys want to open up, like just unmute and tell me, are you not getting what it is, so that I can just rephrase it again? Ritika, Samiksha, Srivatsan, Gauss.
So we just have to know those, like this comes under this category.
Yes, yeah, but that you will eventually get to know. But remember, under infrastructure as a service, so under infrastructure as a service, you will have these: compute, network, storage, backup, and DR. 5 of them. Okay, so these are the 5 most commonly used categories within infrastructure as a service. Like basically all the servers that you create, all the storage, all the networking capabilities, backup, and the DR. We'll talk about each of them, and they're extremely easy and straightforward to work on. So today, or what we started is with compute. Compute is the one that has VM inside it, or like inside it, in the sense compute is the category under which VM virtual machine comes in. So you know what is a VM, right? What you can do with a VM as well, right or wrong?
Yes.
So virtual machine is nothing but a server, basically, like how you, right, instead of, this is your let's say this is your office. In your on-prem data center, you have an office. Let's say this is Bombay. In Bombay, inside this office, you have 3 physical desktop computers, which are servers, which are running Linux or Windows OS. So you can touch and feel this, correct? You know for sure this is a desktop computer, and you sit in front of it, you work on it, and then you do your calculations, you check your emails, you stream videos, you do everything. In cloud, you do the same thing, but it is at somebody else's data center. So again, let's assume this is Azure data center. Azure data center in Pune. Within Azure data center, we have so many racks of servers, and that is all being used by different customers. So you just simply create a VM for yourself, a virtual machine, because it's not a physical machine. Virtual machine means you can't touch and feel it, but you know it is running. You just create it whenever you want, you stop it whenever you need, when you don't need, and you can create a machine of any choice you want: big machine, graphics machine, super speed, supercomputer. You can create anything. So it's basically, instead of keeping a machine in the office in your organization, you're keeping it in somebody else's data center. That's all. That's a same server. Whatever you do in your office, you can do it on a data center that is hosted by Microsoft or Amazon or Google. That is all the differences. But we also, yeah, we also covered something else previously, which we did not recap, about regions, zones, and availability sets. Do you remember what is a region? What is a region?
It's a country basically,
Correct.
right?
Geo. No, that is geo. Country is
Geo
a
region,
geo.
okay. So
Geo.
region will be south one,
Correct.
south two,
So
west one.
no. So geo is a country. India is a geo. Within India, we have regions. What are the regions which we have in India for Azure?
The different cities, right?
Yeah, different cities. But do you have any idea what the 3 cities, or how many cities are there? What are the cities? We have one in Chennai, we have one in Mumbai, one in Pune. Azure has 3. AWS has only 1, which is in Bombay. And what is zone?
Centers within the region.
Correct. Which is multiple DCs, multiple data centers within the same city. Within Chennai, you will have multiple data centers in the same region. And what is an availability sets? Any idea? It's nothing
Under
but
the
multiple
availability zone.
buildings within the same data center.
Yeah.
Multiple buildings or racks or something, but they're separated from using the same power supply and networking capabilities. Same building, I'll say. Now, so these are basically non-technical, or basically like FYI kind of information. When you talk to a customer will ask you, how many regions does Azure has? You will tell these. How many zones do they have? If Azure has any zones, you will say that. AWS has it, then you will say that. And likewise, you can offer whatever the services as a solution to the customer's requirements, depending on what is the, like, they come to you saying that I need this. But mostly, most of the customers I've seen, they use a service that comes under infrastructure as a service. That is either virtual machines, or they use a firewall, they use a storage account to store the data, or they use a backup and DR. So most of the services that you see on cloud comes under infrastructure as a service. And what we saw so far was how to create a simple virtual machine. That's it. We just created a VM for all of us, right? Now I can do whatever I want to do with this VM once I created it. Samiksha or Ritika, whoever has access to create a VM, but I think Ritika is using her work machine, so she cannot log into her server or when she creates it. So Samiksha or Gauss, can you share your screen? And let's just create one VM again, a Windows VM this time.
Yes, sure.
Please do. Please share your screen. Right, so now just go ahead and create a new resource group and deploy a VM there. Just give it a name as RG1. Create a resource. So Samiksha, just watch what he's doing, and if needed you can also just go ahead and create a new VM on your subscription. So VM is nothing but a server, right? I'm asking you to create a Windows server.
Sure.
Okay, just create a new RG. Just give it a name as RG1 and do it in East US only. Great. Yeah, it's good. Now go to the VM, so go to the RG and then deploy a server inside this. Virtual machine, type virtual machine. That's it. Select Windows Server 2016 and give it a name as Win 2016. Yeah, test is also okay. Test VM. Leave everything. Select Windows Server 2016 Data Center Gen 2 and select, yeah, B2S is good. Give a username and password. No, you can't give a test. That's not allowed. Give your name only. You go to the create virtual machine. Let's just review it. Scroll down. You created it, okay. Okay, fine. So why did you set RDP port open to this machine?
I don't know how to secure it.
No, but I'm asking you why not SSH port?
Which one? I have selected the 4 ports of Windows.
You selected all 4, is it?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let's wait for the machine to be created. While the VM is getting created, what is the port to log into the machine on a Linux machine, guys? Port number. How do you connect to a Linux machine? You created a server. I need to log into that machine. How do you do that? Or what port do you need to keep it open? We discussed it last time. Forgot?
SSH 22.
Perfect, 22. And what about for Windows machine, guys?
It's 3389 RDP.
Windows machine port number. And what is a port in the first place? I even gave an example. Ritika, do you remember what are ports? What is it used for?
The way we can uniquely connect to machines or
Right.
devices.
So we spoke about USB ports, HDMI port. These are physical ports, right? We can actually touch and feel it. But there are machines inside the there are ports inside the operating system which needs to be opened and closed for us to connect or to expose our applications or something. So we just discussed on Linux port number, management port number is 22, Windows is 3389. What was the port numbers that we spoke about? What were the port numbers that we spoke about for internet connection? If you need to have internet access to this machine, how do you do that? No, not sure.
Not sure.
Okay.
443.
443 and port 80.
430.
If you open these two ports, then your machines will have internet access, otherwise you will not. So the test VM is running, it's ready. Guys, can you please try connecting to the server? And before that, wait, just click on networking on the left pane. Let's check what are the ports that you have open. Networking on the left. Yeah. So let's see the rules. So I see inbound rules. RDP 3389 is open, 80 is open, 443 is open. So you have HTTPS, which is for internet, and then RDP for management. Good. Now you can try connecting to this server using the IP address. Yep. Connect. That's it. Download the RDP file.
Okay.
Now click on it. Connect. More choices. No, not that. More choices. More choices. No, not there. This is asking for your username and password of your machine. Yeah, use a different account. And now enter the username, Gauss, and then the password. Guys, are you able to follow what he is doing? He just created a VM called test, and he just copied the IP address of that machine to connect, and he's just logging into that server which is hosted in East US from his machine in India. So it's logging in, and there we go, it loads. So he's connected to the remote server which is hosted in Azure cloud. Now what I want Gauss to do is, Gauss, you created a server test. I want you to make it a web server. Can someone tell me what is a web server? Samiksha, Prasansha, Ritika.
A machine that hosts an app.
Yeah, a machine that hosts a website, right? It's a web server, right? So Gauss, I want you to make this a web server. Do you know how to do it? Because we have enabled internet connection. So what I want you to do is, I want you to make it a web server so that you can host your websites inside the server. So guys who are watching, who has not worked on Windows Server, I believe most of you have not, nobody has worked on Windows Server. So in Windows Server, this is a simple test machine, right? We just created a server called test. It has nothing installed in it. It's blank, plain vanilla machine, like fresh out of the box. So to make it a web server, we need to install a role. Now to install the role, click on start, server manager, server manager. Yeah, there is a add a role and feature. Click on it. So it's a simple Windows machine. I'm going to make it a web server. Now click next. 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 Scroll down. There is a web server role, IIS. Next, add features. Yeah, and then next. Don't do anything. Next. Just finish it. Install. So a web server is a server which has your website hosted and it must be accessible from the internet. Gauss, minimize the screen and copy the IP address 20.124.10.161. Just minimize the entire the tab on the top. Yeah, go to the Azure portal, copy the IP address that's on the right side. Yeah, copy. Yeah, copied, and then open a new tab, paste that IP, enter. See, that server is unable to connect from outside. I don't see anything. Where is the website? I just said I'm going to make it a web server, right? So it is, before that role is installed, it will not display anything. It just keeps circling. Nothing is there to load, because just because there is an IP address, just because I want it to be an IP address, it won't load, because it says site can't be reached. Now close this tab, go to that machine, open the server manager. Yeah, wait for it to be installed, like just wait for it to complete. Okay, close it. Now go to that browser and paste the same IP address and refresh. Yeah, see, something is loading from that server. Did you understand what we just did? Samiksha, Prasansha, Ritika?
Yes, sir.
Samiksha, did you understand?
We just hosted a website, right?
Yes. So the page what you just saw, the blue screen that showed as IIS, it's just a default home page. Now you can replace that with anything you want. Like you see, when you put this IP address 20.124.1.10.161, you hit enter. It says Internet Information Services, which is nothing but the home page of Windows web server. Now what you do is just
So it automatically pop-ups, right?
this is the default page, which technically means this server is ready to host your website.
Achha.
Okay, now if you have a code, like let's say you are a developer, you developed your website, so in this server you can push your code or post your code, and then this page will be replaced with your web page. Okay, that's so basically, just to summarize, we created a server, which we all know how to do it by now. At least by following the portal, you know how to create a server.
Yes.
Once the server is ready, to make it do something, you have to install necessary roles. And in this test machine, what Gauss did is, he just installed a web server role. And when he installed the web server role, and when he tried accessing that website or that server from the internet, it loads a default home page. So that means this server is exposed to the internet, and he can now, Gauss, if he has a HTML code or CSS code, he can just post or publish it into this test server, and that will load his page. So likewise, you can use this machine to host anything you want. So go ahead and click on add roles and features, Gauss. So on top of the web server that we have loaded, we can add any roles you want. Click next. Next. These are all the capabilities that a Windows server has. You can host your Active Directory, DNS server, DHCP server, print server. You see Hyper-V. How many of you remember this bird Hyper-V from the session 1? What is Hyper-V?
Microsoft created that product to give a competition to virtual machine.
Super, correct. Not virtual machine, VMware.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hyper-V is nothing but um, it's a role. If you install this, I think we tried on your machine also, no? Yours and Vikram's and Subhash's
Yes.
computer.
Yes.
So it's basically like how you installed your Hyper-V in your machine from control panel in Windows Server. You just install it through this way. Okay, so you just saw when web server is ticked, which means web server role is installed. If you want, you can add any other roles or features. Click next, Gauss. Yeah, okay, everything looks good. I don't want any other roles. Let this test machine be your web server only. Okay, cancel it. Guys, let me share my screen back. Little bit of information on generic technical stuff. So I'm going to ask you this. How many of you notice the name of the web server? What is the name of the web server in Windows Server? Windows OS? Web servers. There was something displayed on that blue screen. No? You didn't notice this? It was called IIS, Internet Information Services. So in Windows, if you want to host a web server, you can use IIS. In Linux, you have different web servers available. Web server is nothing but a software that you install to make it available to the internet. It's called Apache and then Nginx. These are the two most popular web servers, and there is one more called Tomcat. So Samiksha, do you want to host a web server on the Linux machine? Can we give it a try? I know you have no clue, you have not seen what is an Apache or Nginx, but do you want to give it a try? I'll help you with it. Can we do it now? Hello? Or does somebody else want to? I think she's not there on the call. Hey Ritika, do you want to host a Linux website?
Yeah, we can try.
Okay, share your screen and create a simple Linux machine. Okay, she had this problem of some network connectivity, right? ஷண்முக பொன்முனி உங்களுக்கு புரியுதா நான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறதெல்லாம் இல்லை திருப்பி ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுமா?
ட்ரை பண்ணவா அப்போ லினக்ஸ்க்கு?
சாரி,
ட்ரை பண்ணவா?
பண்ணுங்க. ஹாய் ஷமிக்ஷா. So you just watch what Ritika is doing. You try it on your subscription. Okay. Samiksha? I think she's still... Okay, Ritika, create a new resource group and then deploy the Linux. Just create a... You do it from there only. Go back. Like, see, what you're doing is correct, but go home and then create a server. Create a web server. Create resource. Yeah.
Okay.
And then select Ubuntu 2004. Yeah, create. That's it. So here do you see that option that says create new resource group? You can create it from here only. Yeah. Just below that. Yeah, there. Just, you see the resource group, second line. Below that there is create new. Below, yeah.
I see. Okay, so you want this under a new resource?
Do it from the same screen. Why go back, create a resource group and then come back here. So create a resource group as Linux web or Linux-web server, something. Yeah, Linux web. Now give a name as Apache, or you just do Apache or Nginx, anything is fine. Yeah, virtual Apache is good. Okay, now leave it at East US, leave everything as it is, don't make any changes, leave the size as B2S, it's fine. Instead of SSH, use password so that you can use username and password. Samiksha, Are you there?
I'm back actually.
Sorry, I think you dropped, right? The network dropped or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
what
back.
I was telling is, so you saw what Gauss did with the
Yes.
web server on Windows. So I was
Yes.
asking you to create a Linux and then host a web application. But yes, I know nobody knows how to host a Linux machine. So I'm just asking Ritika to create a Linux server, and then I'm helping her how to host a website.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Ritika, what is that option that says select inbound ports? Drop down. Click on the drop down. So when it's a website, you need to have internet access, right? So what are the two ports that we need for internet? 80 and 443.
Okay.
And obviously it's a Linux machine, so
You need
without
share.
22 you can't connect to that to install the website. So leave the
Okay.
3. Next.
So basically, ports are like a mediator between you and the.
Exactly.
That is what,
Yes.
right?
See,
These are
ports are nothing
AMI.
but what you
Yeah.
can imagine as a port, right? In your laptop, you have a port. You have connected a Ethernet cable.
Yes.
That Ethernet cable is letting you access the internet, right?
Yes.
How is it your page that you see is communicating over a port 80 or port 443?
Okay.
So when the VM that you're creating should also have these capabilities, only then you can work. So port is nothing but mediator or the tunnel or a channel between your server and the external world.
So we should know like which port is
Yes.
working for which thing.
Yes, for each application there will be a different port, but there are 65,500 port numbers. You don't need to know everything. Ritika, just tag the server. Give me add 3 tags so that it's
Okay.
easy. So to answer your question, Samiksha, yes, you need to know which port is used for which purpose, and there are over 65,500 ports, but we hardly use 5 of them in our day-to-day basis. So those 5, it's easy or good to remember.
Okay.
You already know the 2 ports for internet, which is 80 and 443, and then you also know the port number for Windows and Linux, which is 3389 and 22. So if you keep these ports open, only then you can connect to those servers. Ritika, created by and then value, and then created on and then value.
So this is what you said for name?
Tag is nothing but to tag the resources. You can give anything, name and value. Created by,
Okay.
name,
Here.
nothing, just
Okay.
a name. Created by. Then put your name, then created on.
That's another tag.
Yeah. So when the VM gets created, if somebody is not there in the shift, they know who is the owner. Created on, put the date, today's date.
Oops. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so they like anything, you can just put the date, the time, whatever. So
Yeah, understood.
tomorrow
Sorry.
when somebody sees it, I know, okay, this VM was created by Ritika on this date. Like you can put anything, like any values, so just review and create.
But otherwise, is there no marker about who
Marker is
created or
there. I also told you one more use case of this tags for sorting the billing.
Yes. Yeah.
When you get
I
the
have
bill, so see, you're creating a Apache web, or what is the name of the VM you're creating? Linux web, is it, or Apache?
Yes.
Apache.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'm asking you to create, or Google creates a Windows web on this same subscription. So when you get the bill, you need to know, right? Created by Ritika has costed 3,000 rupees. Gokul's machine that he created costed you 7,000 rupees. So go ahead and bill it to Gokul.
Okay.
Okay, tag is nothing, just like how you tag it on Facebook and YouTube for a video. Just review and create.
Okay.
It's only 2 rupees per machine, right? If you see it in the summary, just review it once. Subscription name, resource group name, virtual machine name, region, all of it. So once the validation passes, it is 2 rupees 99 paisa per hour. Scroll down. Ritika, so you are creating a Ubuntu 2004. Ubuntu is the operating system name, guys. And then you see the public inbound ports. SSH port is open for Ritika to connect to the server, and HTTP and HTTPS are nothing but the internet ports, and everything else is normal. Premium SSD she is using. she's using a default name and everything. No need of changing anything here. Just create this server.
HTTP was 80 and HTTPS was
443. So did you ask me what is it for?
What is 443? Sorry,
Okay, HTTP is for 80,
Yes.
port number 80, and HTTPS is 443. But I don't know, I'm surprised that nobody asked me this question. Internet is just the internet, right? I open google.com on my machine or my phone, or you do it on your laptop, it just opens the same page. Why two ports for internet? I'm streaming a YouTube video, or I'm browsing Facebook, or I'm using the Azure portal. It's the same thing. So how do I know which port is being used at this time? Why didn't you guys ask me this? And how is it possible that one internet is going to use two ports?
well, both are slightly different. Just one is with an encryption,
Exactly.
but
So can you explain a little bit more for Gauss and Shanmuga Ponmani and Samiksha to understand what did you just say?
So it's HTTP is basically hypertext transfer protocol.
Okay.
And HTTPS is the same thing, but
Mhm.
it's secure.
Correct.
Meaning it has an encryption level.
Yes.
So from my understanding, like banking websites.
I'll tell you
certain
what
websites
is what.
Yeah.
If you want to know which port is being used for the connection, all you need to see is the address bar. Do you see a lock screen? In any website you go there, open anything on the internet that you want, you will see, just open youtube.com, facebook.com, or icicibank.com, citibank.com, any legitimate website, you'll see this lock icon that says connection is secure. Click on it and it says certificate is valid, right? So this, open a notepad, Ritika. Type HTTP, just make a little font is slightly bigger. Yeah, HTTP, we can see it, right? HTTP hyphen port 80, just give it as port 80. And then it is not secure. Put it as not secure. And HTTPS port 445.
443, right?
443, yeah, sorry. And it is secure port. So what is not secure and what is secure? Can someone give me an answer? What can it be? Because Samiksha, you didn't get what is secure and not secure, right?
Yes. Sometimes whenever you visit some websites, it shows that like
Yes.
they are not secure,
Yes.
or they ask you for your permission.
Yes. So those websites that you
Some
see
government
that it
websites,
says
some
not
particular
secure,
websites.
the websites that you saw saying that, hey, it's not secure, do you want to continue? You get that prompt, right? Those websites are working on port 80
Yes.
because they are
Port 80.
not secure. Port 80 HTTP. But any website that you see that green or the lock item, lock means it is secure, it is running on 443. Right now, Ritika is in portal.azure.com / whatever in Apache, and she clicks on anything. Everything that she navigates has a lock icon on it. That simply means her browsing or all the information that is shared between the Azure and Ritika's computer is encrypted. But why encryption or what? Ritika, can you open icicibank.com? ICICI Bank. Open it. See, this is also a secure website, right? Now, I'll tell you what happens when it is not a secure website. It closes and later... not the browser.
Sorry.
No worries. Personal banking, and then just go to that login page. Login on the top. Yeah. So it is asking for a username and password, right, Samiksha? And you can see this page is also a secure page. How? Because there's a lock icon and the connection is secure. So when Ritika enters a username and password and click go, the username and password that she enters has to be validated by ICICI. Only then, if it is right, it will ask you to log in. Correct? Like not just ICICI Bank, even when you log into your email, when you log into Azure portal, when you log into anything, you see a username and password prompt. When you enter and hit OK, obviously it will check for your username and password, and if it is correct, it will allow you to log in. So let me share my screen once, and then if I explain it in a picturized manner, it would be easier for you to get it. So this is Samiksha's home, and this is Samiksha, and she's sitting with her laptop. So she's logging into Azure portal. Okay, as soon as she logs into Azure portal, she gives a username and password. The username and password has to go to Microsoft. They will verify if the username and password is correct, and then they let you log into the portal. Is that what is not happening? Is this exactly what is happening, right? Whether it is Azure portal or ICICI Bank, Citibank, or any website username and password that you enter, Gmail, you enter the username and password, it checks with Gmail account or Hotmail account, Azure account, ICICI Bank, and then if it is correct, they let you work on it. If you are not using a secure website, if it is not a secure website like this, the data that is being sent from your machine, this one, and what you're receiving in this one, it is unencrypted. When I say unencrypted, if I'm a hacker, I somehow break into this network, I can see your username and password as a plain text. I'll say Samiksha S1 at hotmail.com, password is password at 100, because you're using port 80. 80 means it's not a secure port.
So you're sharing your screen?
Sorry? Oops, sorry. I'm sorry. I clicked. Do you see my screen now?
Sharing your screen?
Now? Hello? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Samiksha, what about you? She dropped. I think.
Anybody can see his screen, right? Yeah, now it is visible.
Perfect. Okay. So I was telling, this is you, okay? Samiksha is in her home and she's trying to log into the Azure portal. When she logs into the Azure portal and gives the username and password, she hits enter. The data is sent via internet to Microsoft to validate if the username and password is correct. If it is yes, then you can log into the Azure portal. Or it is the same with ICICI Bank or Citibank or whatever. You enter the username and password, they verify it, and then they allow you to log into the machine. If you are using a HTTP protocol, which is port 80, all the data that you send and receive over your network can be read by anybody as a plain text, which means you would have entered a username and password, right? Samiksha s1 at gmail.outlook.com, and then password is password at 100 or something. When you hit enter, if I'm a hacker and if your Azure portal is running on port 80, this person, the data that goes in and comes out of your machine, everybody can read it. So what happens is, we need to find a way to secure the communication from Samiksha's machine to other networks. So what they came up with is a new technology, or a way called HTTPS, to access the internet in a secure way. So what happens now is, this is Gokul. He is sitting with his laptop in Chennai and he is logging into citibank.com. He enters a username and password. He hits enter. The data goes to Citi servers. They confirm it is the right one and then they let him use the internet banking. But the only difference is, because they are using HTTPS protocol, or HTTPS, which is 443 for communication between the machine to machine, all data that goes in and comes out between the 2 point is encrypted. Encrypted, what does encrypted means? What is encryption? Encryption means to,
It's coded.
something that in making it in an unreadable format. Unreadable format means, like, if, see, for example, so user ID Gokul 100, password I fill it as password 123, and if I hit enter, I will be validating this, right? Gokul 100 and password, does it match? If yes, then allowed. But every time you enter a username and password, for example, where do I log in? Outlook is logged in. Okay, let me just AWS. Okay, I'm opening AWS console. You can see this is secure. Even the Google search websites are secure pages. I open the AWS console and then I'm going to log into my AWS console. This is also a secure page. So this login page, it's a HTTPS page. It is secure, verified by Amazon. So I hit OK and then I'm entering the password. So do you see this password is not in a readable format? Obviously you see it as 10 dots or something. I'm going to hit sign in. So this is my username and this is my password. So if I hit sign in, this will validate, username and password will be checked by Amazon and then they will allow me to log in, correct? Because it is a HTTPS site, it's a secure connection. What happens is, as soon as I hit enter, my web browser encrypts the data. Encrypts the data means Gokul 100 will be transferred into something like this. Password at 123 will be transferred into something like this, and then it will be sent to Amazon. As soon as Amazon receives it saying that this and this is coming, they will go ahead and decrypt it. So they know for sure this actually means Gokul 100. This means password 123, and then they will allow me to log in. Do you want me to repeat it? I believe some of you may not have understood what this is. Should I? Did you understand the concept of encryption and decryption? Let me just, I'll take 5 minutes more, okay, to explain this before I let Ritika share the screen. So we have a machine. I am logging into this machine. If I log in with my, not the machine, I'm accessing the internet on this machine, icicibank.com. I'm entering a username and password. So obviously if I hit enter, it will send the data to ICICI Bank to check if my username and password is correct. ICICI will confirm yes, you are good. They'll say okay, login. This is what is happening. But the problem is, if I send the username and password as it is, if I'm a hacker, if somebody is sitting in this network or somebody is trying to break into my network as a hacking, they will be able to see what I just sent it as a username and password. Correct? If somebody is hacking into your network and if you send this username and password, they can see this username and password. They can steal your password and they'll steal your money, rob you of your money. So what we do is, instead of just sending this data as a simple text username and password, what web browsers these days do is, you have a browser, you again log into icicibank.com. Okay, now as soon as you enter the username and password, this will encrypt it. The username, plain text Gokul and password at 100 will be converted into a long string of characters, something like this, some long stretch of characters, and then it will be sent to ICICI. Now ICICI will here decode it, that this long string will be decoded into my username and password, and then they will validate. If it is correct, they will allow me to log in. So this way, if there is a hacker who is sitting in my network, or if somebody is trying to hack in, even if he is trying to log into this, they will not be able to see my username and password because it is encrypted. It's basically in an unreadable format. Are you able to comprehend a little bit better now?
Yes.
So it's just one way of securing it. Now even this Paint web app that I'm using, you can see it's a https://jspaint.app. So anything that you see as https will have a lock icon. If you are in Google Drive, or let's say I'm in this Excel sheet, this is a Google Docs. If I click on this browser, you can see the lock and it is a https website. But if you do not have a https, what it does, see, it again automatically routes to the https only, because this Google services or any trusted website cannot run on http. HTTP means they are not secure. So in order to, like whatever I'm doing now, like let's say I'm just adding AAA in this file, so obviously this is getting saved in my Google Drive. So from this file, my data is getting copied to the Google Drive, correct? Obviously when a data has to be copied, because it is a HTTPS website, it will not just go as AAA. It will be something like this. AAA will be transferred or translated into some long digits like this, and then it will copy to the Google Drive, and then in the Google Drive it will copy as, save as AAA. Now is it making sense? I'm sending something, but obviously I don't want anybody to read what I'm sending, so automatically it is encrypted into some non-readable stuff, and once it reaches the destination, it becomes a unencrypted stuff. Is it better?
Yes.
So I'm entering 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Sometimes what happens, like whenever I'm using my workstation or
Yes.
work machine, whenever I try to find like a company name or something, so it starts showing this language. I mean, that search page starts coming into that like random characters or something like that.
Mhm.
And then whenever I refresh it, sometimes then it comes like a normal, or it starts showing me the company page or company related details.
Yes.
So why does it happen? Like
So that is all
like same
spam.
thing, like encryption.
No, it's not it's a spam, right? So I'm trying to I'm in the private website or in incognito mode. So if I'm trying to type ICICI, See, it doesn't give me any advertisements. I know this is a trusted website, https icicibank.com, and then I see everything else. All are https ICICI Prudential, ICICI Wikipedia, ICICI page. Everything is https. But when I'm using a normal web browser, which is not a incognito mode, there are chances that I will see a lot of advertisements. Before this ads, I will see a lot of advertisements, and then when I click on something, it takes me to a wrong website. So the reason why you get those is because of extensions and toolbars that you have downloaded onto your web browser. See, if you go to the settings and if you see the like extensions or like the things that we click on, sometimes we might have installed some junk without even we knowing it. So those are the ways that you will get those misleading or incorrect pages. Did I answer or did I get that information correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In case if you need any clarity, just voice it out or message me personally or in that group. We can connect again.
Sure.
Okay, Ritika, can you please share your screen and continue with your Linux server?
Yeah.
Go back to
So,
the Azure portal, go to the Apache server. Now,
Hmm.
how do you connect to this server?
I don't know.
You don't know. How did we connect to a Windows server?
The public
Why?
ID.
Yeah, public IP. So this also has a public IP, but it's a Linux machine, right? So we
Correct.
can only connect using command line.
Yes.
Okay, so what you can do is open a command prompt, CMD. Yeah. And do one thing. Just you copied the public IP, right? Open a new tab.
Yeah.
Open a
New
new
tab
tab. New
here.
tab. Yeah, and paste that IP address. Check if something loads up. Nothing, because there is nothing installed in this machine, right? This machine is not even reachable. There is nothing to show you. It's not a web
Correct.
server. Now we're going to
Correct.
make this Apache machine as a web server. So close this tab.
Okay.
Go to the command prompt. So to log in, I told you need to use command line for Linux. So type
Correct.
SSH space your username. What was the username? At
No space.
no space, at Ritika at the server IP.
Okay.
And okay, that's it. Just hit
And
OK, enter. Okay, it's asking you, are you sure?
Can't be a place.
No, it says
sure you want to continue,
authenticity. Like, I don't know this IP address, is it safe or not? But do you want to continue? Say yes. Now enter the password that you created. Yeah, it won't come. It won't come. Just type it. It won't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do I know where I am?
That's the security feature. Enter.
Hope it says wrong. Yeah.
See, it says permission denied. There we go. So Ritika at Apache. So you've logged into this machine now. So like don't maximize it, just minimize that only. So, or type clear, CLEAR. Okay, now you're in that machine. So you have a machine, it's a Linux machine, you need to install Apache. You don't know how to do it. So open a new tab and just search for it.
Open a new tab and search for.
Type how to install Apache web server in Linux. In Ubuntu, yeah. Ubuntu, first one.
Ubuntu.com.
Open that. Accept all, visit. Scroll down. So it says Apache is what does it say? Scroll up. Up.
Sorry.
So Apache is an open source web server that is available for Linux. There is no charge for it. In this tutorial, we'll see how to set up Apache. So what you will need is a Ubuntu server 1604, but yours is not a 1604, yours is 20.
20.
You also have a SSH command to log into the machine, and you've logged into it. So now we are good. Go to the next step. So go up a little bit. Yeah. To installing Apache. To install Apache, you need two commands: sudo apt update and sudo apt install. Just copy the first line, paste it in the command line, right click, that's it. Right click.
Right click.
Yeah, it will paste. Yeah, enter. So what this command is doing is it's just updating your newly created machine. Like Windows updates we have in Windows, sudo apt update is the command to install the updates on Linux. Guys, if it is not making sense, please don't panic. Nobody knows Linux. I'm just asking her to follow something that's on the internet, so she doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, so don't worry, we'll do it few times and then we'll make it easy. Yeah,
I'll
enter.
run the second thing.
That's it, run it. Okay, now go back. That's it, we are good. You have installed a web server. Say yes. Wait. Yeah, do you want to continue? Yes. Why? So just wait for a few seconds. It is installing the web server on the Linux machine. It is creating all the modules and everything. So it is just configuring everything in the backend, saying that this web server is ready to host or something.
So to connect to this Linux, this Ubuntu machine, we used command line.
Yeah.
And to connect to the that
Windows.
particular machine, it's basically the command is ssh space username @ the machine IP.
Yes. Okay, now you have installed a web server. How do you test if the web server is installed or working?
I don't know. Not in Linux.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Just open the IP address in the browser.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So, but do you see the address bar? There is something that's missing.
Yeah, it's not secure.
Yeah. So what happens if you host your website here and publish it to the internet?
Chances of it getting hacked or
Yes, anybody who is logging into your website, chances are your username and password can be stolen because it's not a secure or encrypted connection.
Correct.
So it was very easy, isn't it? Just within minutes you got your basic web server up and running. Now if you have a code, like if you go to the last tab, install and configure Apache, that tab, the top, the next one, the install and configure Apache, so scroll down and that's it. Go to the next one, creating your own website. So if you follow this, the home page, what you see, Apache to Ubuntu default page, you can replace that with your own website. Okay, so you by default Apache come with the basic site that you just saw in the previous page.
Right.
And you can actually see the configuration file or whatever. So let's do one thing. You see what they've given is we can modify the content in var www html. So the page Apache Ubuntu default homepage is loaded from that folder. Okay, so go to the Apache 2 default page, the third tab. What you see, it works, Ubuntu, this is the default welcome page. This is a page that is hosted inside that directory, that is var html index.html. So now what we are going to do is we are going to change this Apache 2 default page to welcome to Ritika's website. So copy that folder var html where www.html. Just no, without the index.html, just the 3 folders. Okay. Copy that and go to your terminal command line. Type cd, stands for change directory. Okay, cd stands for change directory, and now paste the directory that you copied. Enter. So now you are inside the directory. Do you see it? Ritika at Apache is inside where www.html.
Yeah.
Now I want to see what is inside this folder. You will use a command called list, ls. Enter.
Enter.
There is only one
Yes.
file called index.html.
Correct.
So you know the command cd is for change directory, ls is for list. So basically if you edit this index.html to whatever you want, you will see that page listed here. So to copy or to edit it, what you need to do is just open. How do you open it? Using a command line tool called nano. Type nano space the file name, index.html. Enter. So this is the command, or this is the script, or this is the web page. You see the margin, color, background color, font size. This, whatever the coder or web developer wrote here, it is displayed as the page that you see in the backend or in the behind this terminal. What I want you to do is, I want you to just delete everything. I think it's just a small page, right? Just use the backspace and delete everything here.
It says it's unwritable and I.
Oh, okay. Do one thing. Exit. Control X to exit. Enter.
Yes.
No, you didn't make any changes. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Now what we'll do is, let's delete this index.html.
Okay.
rm, remove, space the file name. Enter. Yes. Now list the files again. List what is inside this directory.
Then list. Still there.
Okay. So that's because it's a very it's more like a write protected or a very very important file that cannot be deleted. So in order to do that, either so just do one thing. Type vi space the file name. Enter. Try to press dd. dd. Keep pressing dd, so it will keep deleting one line. Almost done, right? Yeah, do it. Oh, there's so much. You see, just for a small or a default home page, we have to write such a lengthy code. Then think about the other things. And guys, while you're deleting it, I'm getting a call from I think the delivery guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, sure.
Hello. கீழே இருக்கீங்களா? சொல்லுங்கள் சார். கொடுத்துருங்க. Next. Hello. Yeah, so now you have deleted everything, right? You need to save and exit this file. So press escape. Okay. Now press the colon, shift and then colon.
Shift and
colon and WQ means save and exit. If it is just Q, it's just exit. Okay, now put an exclamation. Enter. Okay, just say enter. Just press escape.
Done.
And then just colon q and then exclamation. Enter. So basically what you did is you did not save and come out because it's not letting us do anything. It is not letting us do edit or because you don't have the permission. So do one thing, just type sudo sudo space su, enter. Now open the vi with the command line, vi space the file name index.html. Yeah, and now keep just doing the dd continuously for 1 minute. Just delete everything.
VI is what?
Vi is a editor. It's like your notepad. Where you're in now, Vi is a tool using which you can edit your files. Okay, so in Windows you have notepad, right? You just open a notepad, open the file, select all and delete it. But in Linux, to delete something, you need to have a editor, text editor. Vi is a text editor. Now you have just cleared everything. Type hello, this is Ritika. Or oh, wait. So now that you have deleted everything, just press I for India. Type something. Hello, this is Ritika and this is my website. Yeah. So you have saved. Now save and exit. Press escape. Escape. Press escape. You're not pressing escape. You're pressing that button next to escape. Yeah. So you press escape. Now colon WQ exclamation. WQ exclamation. Yeah. Enter. Perfect. Now can you go to the website and refresh the page? Did you guys understand what she just did, even though it took multiple attempts to do it? Syed, Rohinas, Prasansha.
Yes, sir.
Samiksha, did you get it or do you want to do it now? Can we do it once because it's 6:15? Let's spend at least another 15 minutes if everybody are okay with it. Samiksha?
Yeah.
Can you spend 15 more minutes, guys?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So Ritika, you can stop and delete this VM or delete the entire resource group. Cancel it and just go to the resource group, delete it. Home, resource group. No, not that way. You have to open and then delete resource group. Yeah. Okay. Samiksha, can you share your screen?
Shall I share?
Yes, go ahead. So whatever Ritika that you did inside the terminal, these are all Linux commands, okay? I know you have no experience on it. It's okay if you don't know or if you don't remember because the more and more we practice that CD, LS, CLR, all these things will come in handy. Like more and more we work on it. So for now it's okay. At least you understood what we did, right? You created a sample web page and then you changed it to your name. That's it. So Samiksha, go to your Azure portal and create a simple Linux machine. Yeah. So you're in. Go to the resource group and Lin 2021 is there, right? Just host a Linux
Yes.
machine there, Ubuntu server. It's blank. So create new. That's it. That's it. Just give it like Samiksha website or Samiksha server or something or test anything, any machine. No space, no space. Okay, leave it in East US only. Let it be Ubuntu 2004, but you don't want 2 core 8 GB machine. Change it to a smaller size. Good job.
Shall I go for B1?
B1 is, it will be a little slow, so go for B2S. At least it will be good to start with.
Yeah, sometimes like last time when I was creating a VM, those like I can see those like DS,
Yes.
BS2, but I was not able to click it. Why? Because
Uh-huh.
the data was not
I'll tell you.
available
I'll
in
tell
there.
you why. See, okay. While it is getting created, I'll tell you. You finish this first, and everybody would have faced the same issue because, no, that's the username. Give Samiksha only or something like Samiksha, and then give a password ABCD123.
This will be HTTPS 443, right?
Actually, because we do not have any secure websites hosted, select both. Yeah, it must be 443, but in your case, you don't have any secure websites. You'll have an unsecure website also. So select 80 as well.
This will allow all IP addresses to access your virtual machines.
Yeah, don't know. You have few other things. Next. No, that's fine. Next. Click on next. Yeah. Select the right desks. Say no thanks.
So here, uh,
What is this?
this is a disk, right?
Yeah.
That
What kind of disk do you want it to be on the machine?
standard, right? We should go
Premium
for the
SSD.
standard.
Premium is good because we will anyways delete this machine. So premium means best for production. Open.
Okay. So next is
Yeah.
networking.
Let this be a blank or a new network.
So we don't have to make any changes over
Nothing.
here, right?
Nothing.
Next management, enable with managed storage account.
Leave it as it is. Don't make any changes.
Okay. Advanced.
Next, give a tag. In the tag, just create who created, when was it created.
ಅರೆ ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ನೀ போய் ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಬರ್
Yeah, Linux practice. That's fine. Then review and create.
You have set SSC portal to open to
Yes,
internet.
because we have now anybody who has your username and password can easily log in with, because you just kept the SSH port open to everybody. But it's okay, it's a test machine. It doesn't mean that you'll be hacked in few minutes. So when we talk about networking, we will discuss all these in detail. Okay, now just all good, review and create. See,
So shall I put my
you don't
mobile?
need the, just wait a minute, scroll up. Why is it asking for the phone number? Okay, just give 1 2 3 4 5 6 9 8 10 something.
Validation. So I
Yeah,
can create, right?
now you can create. So wait for 1 minute, and then you need to log into this machine.
What?
Submitting link deployment template.
Okay, so it's getting created. Now let's wait for this machine to be ready, and you will log into this machine, and then you'll try to deploy a web server for yourself using the internet, and then I'll help you with it. Do you understand what exactly are you doing, Samiksha? Do you know why am I asking you to do this?
Yes. So, like I can put my websites and all everything on the web server. Like I can host them. I can
Yes.
access
So
them
I
from
want you
anywhere.
to have a hands-on experience in how to create a server, how to create a Linux server, and then the concepts of web server. Like what does a web server mean? How does a web server? Who develops it? How does it work? Yep, the resource is ready. Go to the resource. Now
So in a
take
similar way, I can create the Windows server also.
yes, same way.
Right?
Copy the public IP, and now you need to SSH into this. Yeah, click on it. That's it. Now open the command prompt. To SSH, we need to do it only through a command line. Yeah, run and then CMD.
So shall
CMD.
I VMB,
No,
right?
CMD. CMD command. CMD. D. CMD.
CMD,
Yeah, CMD
CMD,
short
right?
form of CMD command. Enter. Perfect. So here you'll have to type SSH
SSH.
space.
Sorry, paste, no?
No, space.
Paste.
Hit this, and then the username that you gave. What was the username? Samiksha, I guess.
Samiksha.
At and then the IP address that you copied. Just right click, it will paste. That's it. Hit enter. Are you sure? Do you want to
No.
continue?
Yes.
Type yes. Mm-hmm. Good. Now enter the
Yeah.
password. It will not come
Password.
on the screen. Just keep typing. Enter once you are done with typing the password.
Yes.
What is happening? It says password is incorrect. Try the password again. Oh, area.
Is it correct now? Public
No,
key.
it says permission denied, which means you gave the wrong password again. So do one thing, just press the up arrow. Up arrow.
Mm.
Yeah. So SSH, Samiksha at this IP address, hit enter. No, you don't need to type it. It's there. Enter. Re-enter the password once again. You're entering a wrong password. Just give the whatever the password that you gave when you created the VM and hit enter. இரியா இன்னும் 10 நிமிஷம் ஆக முடியறதுக்கு நான் வந்து கோயிங் பியாண்ட் மை இது அதுக்கப்புறம் பண்ணுறேன் அது அப்படி தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டில் ஆரம்பத்தில் அப்படி தான் இருக்கும் சரி no so see what is the password that you entered open a notepad no what password are you trying to enter Google password is it no not that it no it wouldn't be there no that's not the password I'm asking you to select the password it will not be there in the saved password right don't not the this one no not that
Sure.
yeah so when you created this test server you gave a password
Oh,
that
like
one
when
A1
we were
B2
creating that VM machine, right?
yeah when you created the VM you entered a Samiksha as a username and then you entered a password
Yeah.
what password is it enter that and then hit OK no okay do one thing let's reset the password minimize the screen on the left pane you have all these options scroll down there is a password reset password button scroll down yeah You see that?
Yeah.
Now give a password and use the new password. Reset the password alone. Username is Samiksha and put the password, whatever the password you want to type. Change it, delete it, and then type it. Yeah. See, the more and more you struggle with the portal is how you get better in navigation. Now you know how to reset the password because you got
Yes.
into a problem.
Okay. Fine.
Now update
Update. Yes.
and then wait for 1 minute, and the password that you just set, try it in the command line. Wait until it is like check the notification bar. Yeah,
Resetting password. Yeah.
correct. Once it is resetted, then try to connect.
Yeah, it is updating now.
It's updating, let it get updated.
Yes. Sorry, I by mistake I
No,
forgot
it's
the
fine.
password.
This is tend to happen. That's perfectly fine. See, everyone goes through this, so it's not just you.
Yes.
Okay, you have to reset the password. Now go ahead.
Connection closed.
It's fine. Restart it again. SSH
SSH.
space Samiksha at the IP address. What is the IP address? Go take it. Take the IP. Yeah, that's the 20 dot. Type it. 20.124 dot 218 dot 47.
8.47.
Yeah, enter. Now enter the password that you just created. What is it? Again, you're getting this error. Check if the caps lock is on or something. You,
No,
you
it's
just
not.
entered a password, right?
Yes, it's a correct password now.
Enter. Wait. Oh, wait. Do one thing.
Hmm.
Public key password. See, let's do one thing. Just minimize it. Go to the portal. Go to the portal. Samiksha is the username. Password. Just enter password at 100. Capital P. Password at 100. Just clear it. Clear it. Yeah. Password at 100.
P capital, right?
Yeah. P capital. ASSWORD at 100.
At 100.
Yeah. And then enter the same thing below.
You can't see the password, right?
We
What
can't.
you have typed.
We can't. Password at 100. Perfect. Save it. Update it. That's it. Okay, let's wait for a minute. No hurry. I have all the time. And people who are watching it, if you guys wish, you can also deploy a Linux web server in your subscription, or you can actually drop out and I'll give you some tasks before the next session. Do it tomorrow and update me. Okay, it's updating. Let it update. Let it take its own time. Okay, now go ahead and connect.
So it will be SSH
SSH Samiksha at
space
no,
space
Y capital S, remove all small,
SSH
space your username
Sha at the rate
120 dot 124
20
dot
dot 124 dot 218
not 47
dot 47.
47 enter. Type password at 100 with a capital P.
PASSWORD
No, not WORD, right? Not WO. Enter. Try again. Password at 100, capital PASSWORD. Let's do one last thing. Open a notepad and type it. Okay, open a notepad. I think notepad is open. Notepad. Type password at 100 with capital P. Copy this. Just double click on it. Copy. And then go here and right click. Just right click and hit enter once. Now what is this? Public key password. Scroll
What is
up.
public key password?
Okay, see, this is maybe it's do one thing. Just hit press the up arrow, like go, yeah, and hit enter. Now just right click once on this middle of the screen and then hit enter. Right click and yeah, enter. Permission, just right click and hit enter. What is this? Type password at 100 with capital P. Okay, I'll tell you what is the problem. Okay, when you created the VM, I think you must have selected, instead of password, there was one more authentication method. It might have automatically populated or something, because of which it's not working. So do one thing, just delete this resource group completely and go home, go to the resource group, virtual machine, yeah.
One
Yeah,
password at the rate 100. Yeah, it's
correct,
right.
that's right, but it's still not connecting, maybe because of some internal setting that we selected. So open the resource group in which you deployed this VM. Lin, you deployed it in Lin 2021. Open that, yeah, and delete the resource group. There is a delete resource group. Right on. No, I'm asking you to delete the entire resource group. Yeah. Say yes. Or what is it asking? Type the resource group name. Lin 2021. Delete. Okay.
So again, I have to create the resource group and I have to do it, right?
That's it. You can create a new VM while you're creating a resource group. But let me tell you something. I'll give you this as a task. Okay. So if you do not have any plans to go out tonight, or if you have time to sit and work on it, open a new tab. Just open a new browser tab on your machine. Open a new tab. Linux VM in Azure portal. Type how to create a Linux VM in Azure portal. That's it. That's enough. Okay, click on the first one. Scroll down. So it says first you sign into Azure, search for virtual machine. Next, scroll down. Here, the option number 6 and 7 and 8. Look at the option 8 for SSH public key, leave the generate, so on and so forth, right? Follow this link, but instead of SSH public key, use the password.
Okay.
You see authentication type, it says SSH key is selected. Follow the same steps, but instead of using SSH key, use the password.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see if the machine is deleted, or let's actually spend 2 more minutes. Go to the portal and now go home, create resource, create new resource. No, you're creating a new resource group. I said create resource. Yeah, select Ubuntu 2004 and instead of resource group, create new. There is a create new just below the resource group. Yeah, just give it Samiksha Linux or something. Yep, enter. Yep. Now give a name as Linux VM. Scroll down. Select leave it as B2S, but you see instead of SSH public key, select password. Leave that, yeah. And now give a username and password. Type everything, Samiksha. No, use small.
Always use small here.
Yeah, always, preferably everywhere it's small only. And then password at 100. No, Samiksha is good. Password at 100. Capital P.
Password at the rate 100.
100.
Right? Password 100.
Password at 100. Now enter it again. Okay, scroll down. Okay, great. So it's matched. Select all the ports. Next. Next.
1 minute.
Don't save. Never.
Password.
Next.
Next.
Next. Again. Next. 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 And next. Don't put the tag, it's fine, it's just for one machine, right? But make it as a best practice. Whenever you do it in your production, always make sure you give the tag next and just create the machine.
Validation failed.
Wait, check what is the reason. Hello.
Required information is missing or not valid.
Vantya பாப்பா அப்படியா சரி இப்போ எங்கே போகிற சரி ஓகே இங்கே வந்துடுச்சு. Yeah, so it says validation failed. Click on it. It says click on that red ribbon. Red. What does it say? It doesn't tell you what it is. Go back to the previous screen and come back. Go to previous. See. So you can delete this. Yeah, either type something and give a name, and next. So you actually almost typed something and you left it, right? That's why it couldn't validate. Next.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now hit create. We somehow need to log into the machine today. Okay. So it's 2 rupees per hour, 3 rupees. Click create. It's fine, you don't have to do anything there. Yeah, create it. So now when you create a new machine, you'll have a new IP address. The name of the machine is Samiksha Linux. And guys, whoever is on the call, please shut down your servers, otherwise you will be incurring the costs. So make sure that you shut down the server. And Samiksha, I'm just stepping away for like 1 minute. Once it is created, go to that resource. Okay.
Sure. Yes.
So it's getting created. Okay, Prasancha.
Hard is created.
Go to the machine, take the IP.
Go to the machine, take the IP, go to run SSH space Samiksha, then type. Tell me to set
Say
the
yes
method. Yes.
and enter the password.
So
Password at 100.
Password at the rate 100.
100. See? Finally. So which means you are entering a wrong password or we didn't do it right. Now install Apache web server. So now you're logged into the Linux machine, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now open a new tab and see how to install Apache. Or I told you there are multiple web servers. You can just either install Apache or nginx. How to install Apache in Ubuntu. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Accept, right?
Yeah. It's just cookies. Now, it's fine. Go to the step 2. You're in step 1. This says what is what.
So now we have to click on that.
You're in overview page. No, that's fine. You're in the right page. You are in overview. Now you'll have to go to step 2. You are in step 1. On the left pane you see installing Apache.
Correct.
Click on installing Apache on the left. Yeah. Okay. Just run these two commands.
Set apt sudo apt update.
Yeah.
So it took me here.
Where did it take you? No, go back. Close this page. Close it. Close that tab and you see the, yeah, just copy that. Right click, copy.
Copy.
Go to the Linux machine and paste it.
Here only, right?
Yes. Just right click. If you right click, it will paste. Is it not pasting?
It's not pasting.
It's not pasting. That's fine. Just type it. Now keep it side by side. Just minimize the screen. You can either paste it or type it. Move the, yeah, there it is. Sudo apt update. sudo space apt space update. So what you're doing is, the first step, you're updating the operating system before you start something. Enter. Let it run. It's checking for all the updates and everything.
So when it updates, it goes to the server and
Yeah, that's what it is doing. You can see get 19, 20, 22, and it is checking for azure.ubuntu.com for all the packages in this machine. It is testing through the internet. Okay. Now install the Apache.
So now I have to type the same command.
Second command.
Second, sudo apt install Apache
2. Yeah.
Apache
2. Sudo apt install Apache 2.
Apache 2.
That's the name of the package.
So when you say package, you mean to say the software
Yeah.
name, right?
The name of the Apache web server is Apache 2. It's asking you, do you want to continue? Say yes.
Progress 98%.
Okay, once it is completed 100%, try to open your IP address in the web browser of the Samiksha
Same
Linux VM.
address which we have copied it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there it is. Just copy that. No, I don't think Linux VM. I think you gave a different name. Go home, and go to VMs. No, not that. VM, virtual machines. Yeah. Okay, that's
VMs.
the okay. Yeah, I thought it was Samiksha Linux VM or something. Okay, just Linux VM. Copy that. Open that, and there is a IP address. Copy. Yep. Now go to a new tab and paste that IP. See if the page is loading.
Yeah, it's done. Samiksha at the rate Linux VM.
Okay. Now go to the enter.
It works.
Okay, so it works, which means the page is loading from your Linux VM server.
Achha.
So that's a web server now, because
So this is on my web server, right?
this is
Ubuntu
your
which we have
yeah,
created.
this is on the web server. If you want, you can change it, like all the content that you see, you can change it with the image or hello world, or this is Samiksha's website, welcome to my page. All the things that you see on the screen now can be modified.
But do I have to know the HTML for
No,
this? Like,
yes, you need to. Correct. If you want to edit, if you want to create a web page, yes, you need to know HTML.
achha.
But you don't need to, right? You're not a developer. You're going to
I'm
be
not a
just a
developer
sales,
actually.
cloud sales. So, but
Yes.
it's better, right? Like, you need to know how a website works, how a web server works. Only then you
Hmm.
can sell something to the customer who needs it.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you don't have to learn HTML. You don't have to know CSS, coding, nothing. Just
Okay.
understand what is the concept.
Understood.
Okay, so we are
Yes.
good. You can stop the server and delete it.
So like I have to like go to
That's
virtual
it. There,
machine.
you're there. You can see this. Go back. Yeah, you see
So
the
I have to
stop.
stop.
First you stop it, click OK.
It's running. Do you want to
Yeah,
reserve the
yeah, no,
command
no, I'll
again?
just ignore that and click OK.
Ignore that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, right?
Yes, so that it stops the VM and releases the public IP. When I say release the public IP, I mean this IP 52.186.158.181 will be
Hmm.
given to somebody else,
Okay.
so that
So
it's
it's
not.
like so whenever I use it, it blocks that thing for me only.
Yes, if you want to
Okay.
keep it permanently, you can do that also.
Achha. So now
Once the
again
VM is stopped, delete this
status.
VM. Yeah, it's still stopping, right? You can see the notification bar.
Yes. Yes.
Click on it.
Then I
Click.
have to delete this
Yes, once the VM is stopped, delete the entire resource group.
resource group, not the VM, right?
You can delete the VM, but only the VM gets deleted. Go to the Samiksha Linux resource group.
Deallocating.
Yeah, it's deallocated. Stop. Now go to Samiksha Linux.
Hmm.
So you see the Linux VM IP, so and so, so and so. So if you
Yes.
delete the VM, it will delete only that one thing. Other four will still remain.
Achha.
Okay, so that's why I always say delete the entire resource group.
Achha, delete entire the resource group.
Yes.
Delete only Linux VM.
If you delete, now hit delete, click on delete. Let's test it. Yeah, delete, and just yeah, click delete. So it's deleting the Linux VM called Linux VM. Now, once it is deleted, go to Samiksha Linux resource group. Yeah.
So it will
Yeah, yeah. That's the one.
there,
That's the right way.
yeah,
Now,
correct.
if you refresh, only this Linux VM line items will be, yeah. Now refresh here. There is a refresh button on the top next to, yeah. Do you see the Linux VM will disappear in few seconds. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But everything else will remain the same, which you are anyways going to be charged or paying for it. Like try opening Linux VM. Try opening, no, open the, here in the right, in the middle. Yeah, open that. What did we just refresh?
Yeah, I cannot see the public. Yeah.
Public IP, but you
cannot
should
see
not even see this. Maybe it is taking some time to reflect because you just deleted this VM. Yeah, there we go.
Not found.
Because you deleted this VM. Now go to Samiksha Linux resource group. See, the VM is gone. But you have the IP disk and everything else. You're going to be charged for this also, right?
So I have to delete the whole thing.
Delete the entire resource group.
Delete Samiksha Linux as well, right?
Samiksha, just click on delete resource group and delete the entire resource group. Copy and paste it.
Samiksha Linux.
That's it.
So like whenever you ask us to create a server, we just have to create and then we have to delete it.
Delete the entire resources, all the resources. Okay.
Deleting resources. Yes.
So that's it. Now you practice this quite a few times, like at least 3 or 4 times, so that all the options within the UI, what option lies within what option, everything will be familiar for you.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Sure,
now I'm gonna give you little complex tasks from now on because we have spent enough time going one by one. You've tried, destroyed, created, deleted multiple times. Now I want you guys to figure out ways to go one step ahead. Like all the options that you skipped without reading when you're creating the VM, I'm going to give you tasks on those. Okay.
Sure.
All right, guys. So that's it for today. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just a small thing. Sorry to.
No worries.
So test server we can create and keep it, right? Only the virtual VMs like.
No. Like see, everything that you create, if you don't need it, delete it.
Sure.
Like why a test server is also still a VM only, right?
Yes.
So whether it is Linux machine, Windows machine, test machine, Samiksha's machine, it's all a machine.
Achha.
So once you're done with testing or once you're done with usage, just practice it, delete it.
Okay. So only VMs we have to delete, but not the resource groups. It's okay to keep the resource groups. Right?
Resource groups you can keep it. There is no cost.
Achha.
But VM and its dependencies, delete it.
Fair enough.
Okay. Now go to all resources. Click on the middle. There is all resources. Click on it. Let's see if there's anything. See, you have all these components. Select one by one and delete it. Oh, wait. They're all part of Samiksha Linux. That is anyways getting deleted now.
Yes.
Okay. It's still doing it. Okay. Fine. And once it is done, then you should not see anything except that network watcher. That is fine.
Achha.
Okay.
Fair
Entire Samiksha Linux should be out.
Fair enough. So same thing, I will have to do create a Windows server and create this thing and then delete it.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yes.
Do it twice, thrice, and then you'll also, while you're doing it, keep a watch on the options that you get in between, so that these are very, very useful as well.
Sure. So it's okay if I share the screenshots with you, right?
Please do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yes, I got it. Thank you so
Any
much.
other questions, guys? Gauss, Rohinas, Shanmugapanmani, Ritika.
No other questions.
Okay, perfect. So I'll give you some tasks tonight or tomorrow. Have to try to complete it before Monday or Tuesday.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Good day.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
weekend. Welcome.